Good morning, Rocksteady. So today I'm going to give you a little bit of a chair and balance workout. So at home, if you would go grab a chair, if you have some light dumbbells, if you don't have light dumbbells, you can use a set of soup cans or water bottles, or you can do all of these moves with no weights. So we're going to do a quick warm up to get started, just to get your body fully warm. And then we're going to go into the moves. We have, let's see, I think 8 different moves today. We're going to do each one 3 times in a row for 45 seconds with a little rest in between before we move on to the next one. So this way you have 3 times to get that move ironed out. We'll move on to the next one, and then you don't have to worry about going back to do that move again. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to set a timer so we know what our time is. So you'll probably hear the beeps in the background, but I'll cue you through it so you know what to expect. So go ahead and grab your chair for the warm-up. We're going to squat down, tap your butt to the chair, and then add a knee lift in. So you're going to tap down, knee lift up. As you lift that knee up, maybe bring those elbows around to the side to get those obliques warmed up. Big rotation here. So you're just tapping that butt down to the chair and you're standing up, or you can just squat and lift the knee up if that's a little bit easier for you. Squat it down, lift it up. We're going to go into ground zero, so move that chair right out of the way. You have your feet about hip width apart. You're going to squat it down, lift up, bring those hands over your head, reach those fingertips long. Keep that chest lifted. Make sure you keep breathing. I want to hear a big exhale as you push up overhead. Come back to the front so you can see the front here. So you come up off those heels. Take those legs out wide. We're going to go into a wide side lunge here. So just slow and easy, keeping your chest up, lunging from side to side here. If you feel like you need a little extra, you can take one hand down towards the middle of your foot. But I want you to keep that chest up. Don't let it cave down. One hand comes onto that knee. Let's go ahead and jog in place here. Nice slow jog. Get those arms pumping. Or if you want to just march in place, you can march in place too. Either way, jog or march. Keep it up. You're doing a great job. Nice slow and steady jog. Or we're marching. Okay, we're going to do an oblique pull down. So I want you to have your chair here for balance. Take that right hand up. Pull it back down. So you're bringing that elbow to your knee. Just on the one side, and then we're going to switch to the left side. So go ahead and switch to the other side. So that knee pulls up towards your elbow, squeezing those obliques as you pull down. For the last move, I want you to come down onto the floor, and you're going to come just into a down dog here, and then push forward, hold, and then push back up to that down dog. You can also drop down to your knees if you need to, push up into a child's pose, and then come down to a knee plank. So those are 2 options here just to get that back warmed up. Okay, so that concludes our warm up. So if you don't feel warm enough, I want you to go back through those moves, just a few, just to get your body warm before we go into our first move of the day. So for the first move, you will need your chair. If you have weights and you want to use weights, go ahead and grab those. If you don't have weights, you can do this without any weights and just your body weight. So you're going to use your chair for this. So the move that we're going to do first is a weighted double pulse squat to stand. So like I said, if you have weights, you're going to grab those. You're going to just hold them on your right on your side here. So a double pulse squat to stand. So that means you're going to tap that butt down 2 times, stand it up, pushing through the heels. So see how I'm just kind of tapping down? If you don't want your weights, put them off to the side and you can do this with no weight. So I'm gonna get the timer going, and then we're gonna start. So the move will be 45 seconds long. We'll have a 15-second rest in between, and then we're gonna do it again 2 more times through. So you end up doing each one 3 times through before we move on to the next one. All right, let's go ahead and get started here. So 45 seconds of work and a 15-second rest. And in that rest time, you'll get your water if you need it, or just I'll tell you kind of how to reset your equipment for the next move. Okay, so if you have weights, you're gonna grab those weights, you're gonna tap down 2 times, push it back up, and as you stand up, I want you to think about pushing your weight through your heels here. Stand up tall. So you find your posture here, squeezing those shoulders together. Big push up, little tap down. Nice job. Keep that chest lifted. I'm gonna do this without the chair too, so you can kind of see that variation. So if you don't have a chair, you just do a double pulse squat. Right here, 2 pulses down and stand it up, pushing through those heels. Okay, that's our rest. So I'm sure you can hear the beeper, it's very loud. That's our rest. So just grab some water in between. We're gonna do that move 2 more times. So I'm gonna get the chair again, so you can see the full thing. I'm gonna do no weights this time. So if you don't have weights and you wanna work on your balance, take those arms out long in front of you, squeezing up. Nice job. Remember, you're pushing through your heels as you come all the way to standing. Perfect form. Stay with me. Big push up. Looking good, you guys. I like it. Keep going. So quiet in here. Hopefully you have some good music playing at home to get you pumped. All right, you got 3. Rest. We're gonna do that 1 more time, okay? So in this last variation, I'm gonna use my weights and no chair, so you can see that modification, or that option, I should say. Now, if you wanna take your weights to your shoulders, that's an option too. So remember, we have those 2 pulses down and a big press all the way to the top. So see how when I get to the top, I pause for just a second, activate my glute muscles before I come all the way back down. So remember, weights can be at your shoulders, or they can be here, just hanging low, or you can do this with no weights. It's up to you. We're almost there, and then we're gonna move on to another move for this next round. We're gonna sit down for the next move. So make sure you grab your chair and your dumbbells if you have them. You have 5 seconds here before we move on to the next move. All right, so grab that chair and your dumbbells if you have them. If you don't have dumbbells, I'll show you the move with no dumbbells. So we're gonna stay sitting down. You might wanna scooch forward to the edge of your chair for this one. We're gonna do T raises here with our arms. So I want you to take your arms out to the front, bring them out to the sides, back together, and down. So you're drawing the letter T with your dumbbells. So with this, I want you to keep those elbows soft here. Don't lock your elbows out. You're pulling up and then pressing out to the sides. Those shoulders pulled down away from your ears. This should be a steady motion. If you need to drop your weights, you can do this with no weights, just making that big T motion. Looking good. Make sure you exhale. There you go. Let's take a little rest. So you can also do this move standing. If you don't want to sit down for this, you can come up to standing. I'll show you the standing variation on this next round. So I'm going to use my weights though to show you what it's going to look like. Come up in a front raise, out to the side, back down. So see how my shoulders are not pulling up? You don't want them to shrug up. You want to pull them down and back, open, and then close. Nice. And you want to make sure that that stomach is tight. You're pulling that belly button towards your spine. Exhale as you press out. Remember, if you need to drop your weights, drop them down, raise up and out. You want to just slow the movement down just a little bit to really get into those chest muscles and those arm muscles here. Take a break. We have to do that one more time. So I'm going to sit down for that last round. I'm going to show you from the kind of a side angle, like a diagonal. Make sure you're sitting down if you want to, or see how I'm kind of scooched to the edge of my chair here. That's going to make sure that my core muscles stay engaged and I'm not slouching back. Because if you slouch back in this, you're going to end up hurting your back, and we don't want that. So sit up on the edge of the chair, big press up and big press out. So I want you to really find that muscle extension here. Remember, you can do this with no weights. Out, back together. We're just drawing that letter T. And I want you to keep breathing. Nice job at home. Keep it up. We're almost there. You have 5 seconds. We're going to move on to another move after this. So I want you to have your chair for the next one. You're going to take one foot and kind of prop it up into your chair for this next move. We're going to go into a single leg deadlift. So take that chair and kind of prop it into your, take that leg, I should say, and prop it into your chair. And you're going to just come down right past that knee and squeeze it back up. So see how my chest is staying lifted here before I come all the way back up. So think about taking those shoulder blades and squeezing them together and then lowering down and lifting back up. This move should be slow and controlled. All your weight is pushing into your front heel here. And that back leg is kind of just kicked into my chair. If you want a little balance challenge, I'll show you that in the next round of this move. Otherwise, keep that leg pressing into your chair here. Chest is up. This time I want you to switch legs. So whichever leg you had back that last time, you're going to alternate to the other leg. I'm going to show you this time with a balance move. So I'm not going to use my chair. I'm going to show you without the chair, if you want to balance here, how that's going to work. So other leg is back. So here's your kickstand. So this is your kickstand without the chair. Okay, if you want to try it a little bit harder with the balance, you're going to lift this leg up. You're going to come right to that knee and pull back up to standing. So see how that back leg lifts up just a little bit off the floor, but I'm keeping my chest lifted. Nice. Otherwise, you can kickstand that foot right behind you, and same idea, but you feel a little more stable like this. You have 6 seconds. Keep going. We're going to add on. So the last time we do this, we'll switch our legs halfway through that 45 seconds. So I'm going to kickstand my leg into the chair this time so you can see that variation for the last time. And we're going to, like I said, we'll switch halfway through. So take one leg back into that chair. Make sure your chair is stable and it doesn't run away from you. No wheels here. Otherwise, you might fall forward. There you go. So make sure those shoulders are squeezing together as you lower down and lift back up. We're going to switch legs in 3 seconds. Go ahead and switch to the other side here. So press that other leg into your chair before you go lift down and back up. So this is either, you can call it a single leg deadlift or a kickstand deadlift. Either way, you have one leg kind of staggered forward. Keep going. Nice, we're almost there. Okay, we are moving on. I want you to sit down for the next move, not the last move, the next move. We're going into a seated tricep extension. So I want you to do just one arm here. So sit forward in that chair. You're going to row that arm up and then kick it out. And when you bring it back, it's just stopping right here at your hip before you kick it back out. So all that tension stays in that tricep muscle, the back of your arm. As you press that weight up, I want you to think about lifting just a little bit. See how my weight kind of presses up just slightly at the back of that extension? Think about growing length through that arm here. Your head is just looking forward, so that gaze is out in front of you about, I would say, 4 to 5 feet here. Switch arms on this next one. So I want you to switch to the other arm. I'm going to turn my chair so you can see that side. And then on that third round, we're going to do both arms. You're going to row that arm up, press it out. There you go. Big press. So remember, as you press out on that extension, you want to raise up just a little bit. Think about a little tiny pulse to the top of the ceiling here. That elbow stays really close into your side here. Big press out. Almost there. You're over halfway. Looking good. Stay with me. You have 6 seconds. And then we're going to grab both weights. I want you to take both weights this time in your hands. If you want to stand up for this last round, you can do that. Otherwise, you can stay sitting down. I'm just going to slide my chair out of the way here. Take a little hinge, row it up, and kick it back. So remember, those weights stop right at those hips to keep the work in those tricep muscles. Or you can sit down for this last move. I'll sit on the edge of my chair here to show you guys what that's going to look like. And on the last 10 seconds, we're going to hold those weights up and take little tiny pulses. So keep pushing. I'll tell you when. Push those weights to the back of the room. Grow a little bit taller here. Or stand up so you can see. I want you to hold the weights back. Take your palms to the ceiling and take little tiny pulses. Okay, rest it down. We're going to use the chair and take one weight this time. So what I want you to do is take the weight in your right hand and then hold the left knee up. And you're taking a single arm press with that balance. Now, you have a chair here for balance, but I want you to try to take your hand off the chair and see if you can balance. So the weight is in your right hand and your left leg is lifted up. Press it up. If you need that chair, just hold on to it with your fingertips. I want you to think about standing tall here. Grow tall out of that standing leg. A little bit of balance with a big shoulder press overhead. And we're going to switch this time. So bring that chair to the other side, or you can have it right in front of you. It doesn't matter. I'm moving it to the side just so you can see the whole frame of work here. So weight is in your left hand, and this time your right leg is reaching up for that balance. Remember, if you want to try it without the chair, let go. See, no hands. Keep pressing up overhead. Make sure you're breathing here. Don't forget to breathe. And that leg is just you're just balancing on that standing leg. So you're growing tall out of that standing leg here. See, I need my chair. Ah. Keep going. You're almost there. Big press. Nice job. Stay with me. You have 8 seconds left. This next time, we're going to use both hands. If you feel comfortable enough to use both hands to press up, we're going to alternate the leg that we're balancing on. Otherwise, you can just switch halfway through like we did the first time, okay? So find that balance, press it up, and come down slow. So big press up, slow release down. So you might try this balancing on one side. If you need to drop one of your weights down and use the chair for balance, you know what to do. I'm going to switch legs here. So I'm going to find my balance and switch. So this is a shoulder press with a one leg balance. So remember, you're slow releasing all the way down. You have 9 seconds left, and then we're going to move on to another move. Almost there. I want you to drop your weights so you don't need any weights for this next move. We're going to use the back of our chair here. So I want you to take your hands to the chair. You can also use the front of your chair if that feels more stable. You're going to take one leg back behind you. I want you to flex your toes. So you're pushing your heel to the back of the room, and I want you to just curl that leg in and back out. So this is a hamstring curl, but we're kind of using that chair for a little bit of stability here. So you're not all the way down here. You're kind of up on a nice little angle here. Just using that chair. So you have to kind of find some stability in that standing leg here. And you might feel a little bit of a burn through that standing leg, and that's normal. So keep that leg lifted, and we're just bending at the knee here. Just a little hamstring curl and a big press forward. All right, so we're gonna switch sides this time. So whichever leg you had back behind you now becomes that standing leg to balance on. Don't forget to drink your water in between. Same thing, to find that diagonal with the chair. So remember, you're not caving down, you're kind of standing up here on the diagonal. That leg comes back behind you, flex those toes, and then bend and press all the way out. So as you press that leg out, I want you to think about taking your heel and pushing it to the back of the room. So you should feel that movement right here in the backs of your legs. And remember, your standing leg is nice and soft. You have a little bend through it. This is just helping to strengthen those hamstring muscles here and give that knee a little bit of flexibility. Okay, this time, same thing. We're going to do both legs. We'll just switch halfway through. I'm going to show you what it looks like on the base of my chair this time, so you can, if you feel more comfortable doing it that way. So this time your hands will come to the chair, so you get a little bit bigger range of motion here if you do it that way. But that means you have to put a bigger bend through that standing leg. See how my standing leg has a bend through it? You just want to put a bigger bend through that leg. You can also do this move down on the floor on all fours. So I'm going to switch sides. I'm going to do this last 25 seconds on the floor so you can see what that will look like. So you're down on the floor, that leg comes up, and you curl and extend all the way out. So see how I'm holding that leg lifted here? Looking good, guys. You got 4 seconds. Okay, we're going to use the chair again for some balance for this next move. If you want to wait, go ahead and grab a weight. I want you to take the weight into that right hand, and that left leg is going to reach. So see how my left leg is out and my right arm is out. You're going to pull that leg in as you bring the arm in with you. Let's actually try this without the weight. So just pull that arm in as the leg comes in. So I'm using an opposite arm and an opposite leg here. So you do need to use your chair for a little bit of stability here. So big push out and a big press in. So this is working opposite muscles. And my tummy is tight here. I'm bracing my core. So that leg extends out and that arm pulls to the center. They're working on opposite directions. We're going to do it again. This time, the other arm is going to extend out. So your left arm and your right leg. I'm going to show you kind of on the diagonal here so you can see. There we go. So hold it out, extended, and then bring it in together. So you extend out at the same time and then bring it in. Make sure that standing leg has a little bend through it. See how I have a little bounce? So we don't want to ever lock out that standing leg. And that's a leg that's just giving you stability here. So you may feel a burn through that leg. So nice. And if you have a weight, you're holding the palm facing the ceiling, like you're serving a tray of food. I'll show you in the next round with a weight. So you have 9 seconds, and then if you want to grab weights for the last round, we can grab weights. You shake out those legs in the middle. So if you want to hold a weight for that last round, we'll do the same thing where we do half for 23 seconds and then we'll switch. So opposite arm and opposite leg. Or if you feel better about it, you can just hold that arm steady in the middle and just reach the leg out and in. This is just working those outside hip muscles, the glutes, the outside glutes. There we go. We're going to switch sides here. So you're halfway. Now we're over halfway. If you're keeping time at home, or if you can see the timer behind me. We're almost there. You have 10 seconds. Remember, if you want to just hold that weight steady and just do the leg, you're right here. Static hold with that arm. Okay, so we have one move left. So if you want to have the chair, we're going to do a curtsy lunge. So that's where you do that lunge behind you like a bowler's lunge. And then we're going to lift that knee up. So curtsy lunge, one leg comes down behind you, and then you're going to take that knee lift. So you're lunging and then lifting through that knee. So that knee is going to come up to the outside here. Lunge and then lift. Lunge and then lift. If you don't want to have that lift, just take that curtsy lunge and tap out to the side. So curtsy down and tap out. 2 options here. Okay, or we have that lift. So bring the elbow around with you, up and over. Nice job. We're going to do the other side now. And I'm using my chair for balance, but remember you can do this move without balance. Sorry, we're still resting. We're still resting. Almost there. All right, here we go. So lunge it down, knee lift. So lunge and then lift. So while you're in that curtsy lunge, your back knee is coming diagonal with that front heel. So you're on a little diagonal here. I'm going to step back just so you can kind of see my feet. See how my knee is coming to the diagonal? Back and up. There we go. Or remember, you can just tap it out to the side and come back to that curtsy lunge. So tap it out to the side and come back. You should feel a little out of breath here. Okay, so for the last round, I'm going to show you without the chair. So if you want to challenge yourself and do this with no chair, we'll switch halfway through. So curtsy down, lift that knee up. Try to balance. This is a little challenging, so if you need to tap down, tap it down. So you're here if you want to tap. Otherwise, you have that knee lift. Make sure you breathe as you bring that leg around. We're going to switch sides here. Other side is curtsying down. Either tap it out or knee lift up. Either way, big exhale as you come around. Guess what? That's the end of our workout, you guys. I'm going to take you through a stretch because, as always, after you work out, while you're still warm and a little out of breath, you want to stretch your muscles because you can get a little bit deeper into those muscles while you're warm. So I want you to use the chair, okay? So first what we're going to do is just take one leg up onto your chair, take those toes and bring them back towards your face, And then if you want to reach for those toes, you're going to take the opposite hand. So if your right leg is extended, that left arm comes around for those toes. And just hold here for a few breaths. And then we'll switch sides. So go ahead and lower down. The other leg will come up to your chair. Reach that opposite hand around towards your toes. Reaching, and it's okay if you can't touch your toes. You're just reaching for those toes. So think about taking those fingertips and somebody pulling on them and just growing a little bit longer. And you're reaching for those toes. All right, when you feel good, go ahead and hold on to that chair, release it down. I want you to take a stretch of those thigh muscles. So you're gonna hold the chair in front of you. Go ahead and grab for that shoe. And you're gonna press those legs together here and take your hips and just tuck them forward just slightly. I feel all those cookies I've been eating, all those Christmas cookies. And then when you're ready, I want you to switch sides. So take the other foot. I'm gonna do it without the chair so you can see no chair. Either way, or you hold the chair in front of you and you just switch legs here. So my foot, I'm gonna show you kind of from the back what it looks like. So your foot is behind you. If you need to have it out a little bit, that's okay too. You just wanna make sure that that knee is pushing down to the floor. All right, so go ahead now. We're gonna take a wide lunge here and just lunge to one side and just hold it. You're gonna feel a nice pull through that other inner thigh here and then switch to the other side. Awesome, I hope you guys enjoyed that workout. Let me know what you think about it and then take one hand across for a little arm and tricep release. We're gonna try to get you guys some at-home workouts over the holidays because I know how important it is to stay active. And I want you to continue to try to stretch a little bit every day, even if it's 5 minutes a day, try to stretch. You know, even if it's just these simple stretches here, maybe find a really simple, you can find a simple chair yoga video to do. Take your hands and release them and then pull that chest open. There's lots of chair yoga out there. So if you can find something as simple as that to do at home for 5 or 10 minutes a day, it's really gonna help with that muscle flexibility and strengthening those muscles too. All right, and finally take one big inhale up all the way. Exhale it out. One more time. Big inhale all the way up. Fill up your lungs. Exhale it out. Nice work, you guys. I hope you enjoyed that video. Like I said, we're going to try to get you some more so you can stay active over the holidays. But I will see all of you very soon.